Bush with your CIG-TV News Brief and weather forecast. Since October 1st this year, more than 3,000 people have returned home to the Cayman Islands. In this story, we hear more about the team that is receiving accolades for their incredible work in making it all possible.
Please give yourself a round of applause.
This is made possible through a collective effort, over 200 individuals across 4 core teams working in partnership with various agencies like Health Services, the RCIPS, Department of Environmental Health, CIAA, CAA, and all of our partners. We have over 200 individuals that contribute in some way to the Travel Cayman program. This work has been made possible through the redeployment of resources across the service, so this has certainly been a multi-department, multi-ministry effort. We've been able to pivot resources that we have across our service as well as our public services, so Cayman Airways has contributed greatly to these efforts in allowing us to deliver this program. Customs and Border Control, Workforce Opportunity Residency Cayman. We've also been able to engage resources from the Cayman Islands Regiment, so the troopers have joined us.
The Travel Cayman team took some time out of their very busy workday to attend an appreciation luncheon on their behalf earlier this week. They were recognized and thanked by various leaders, including His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Martin Roper.
You know, we've all this year had our resilience tested. It's been an incredibly challenging time in Cayman and across the world. But we've also, as a civil service and law enforcement agency, we've had to adapt incredibly quickly and be very flexible. And one of the, there are 2 or 3 real key themes that come out from me about how we performed this year. And one of them is that capacity to be flexible, to redeploy, to do something totally different to what you normally do, and be able to do that effectively. So that's helped break down silos, because all bureaucracies struggle with silo working, but this has really helped us to come closer together and work with different people across teams.
Head of the Civil Service, Deputy Governor, the Honorable Franz Manderson, thanked the team for their hard work, while reminding those who are in quarantine of their responsibility to keeping everyone safe, which is the primary focus of the country's leaders.
What we're doing with Travel Cayman and the entire reopening of our borders is the major focus is to keep our people safe. We have a multi-layered approach where persons have their wristband. We have a team of dedicated Caymanians doing door knocks. We have persons who phone persons in isolation to check on them. But the main thing for us is we expect our people who are coming here to isolate to be responsible, to be really part of the solution. So we should not have to be spending a lot of time monitoring them, but we are up to the challenge. And I think the team here in Travel Cayman has been doing a great job.
6 Travel Cayman members were recognized with honorary awards, including Dr. Tasha Ebanks Garcia for outstanding contribution to the program, Dawn Manderson for excellence in development of travel management operations, Paulette Johnson for her work as a private flight specialist, O'Shane Johnson for going above and beyond, Nadira Lord for exceeding expectations on management of government-sponsored facilities, and Kurt Powell for development of the mobile compliance operations. And we say congratulations to the entire Travel Cayman team for their excellent work during this time. Well, more good news this time from the Minister of Finance, the Honorable Roy McTaggart, as it relates to the Cayman Islands economy.
So, Mr. McTaggart, could you explain to the listening and the viewing public exactly what the Cayman Islands financial picture looks like at this stage in 2020?
Thank you, Donna. On Wednesday, I actually presented the 3rd quarter report on government's finances to the Parliament, correction. And what those numbers show is that the government's finances are performing better than we had originally estimated at the beginning of this pandemic. Through the end of October, we had revenues, I'm going to speak in round numbers here, of about $605 million, expenses of $575 million, resulting in a surplus within the core government of about $30 million. And you had the statutory authorities and government companies contribute about just shy of $2 million as well. So at the end of, through the 9 months of ended September 30th, we were showing a surplus of about $32 million. Now, at the beginning of the pandemic, our estimates and work done to try and forecast what the likely impact of the pandemic would be on government's finances, we were forecasting a deficit of as high as $168 million. So what the numbers at the end of September really suggest to me is that there is no way, it is unlikely, I should say, that we will achieve that kind of a deficit in this fiscal year. And that results from some of our revenue streams, coercive revenue streams, performing better than anticipated through the pandemic. And the best one I can give you is stamp duties on land transfers, which, as soon as the economy started to open up again, I mean, things picked up right where they had left off in March. So we've got some revenue streams that are performing better than planned. But you also have as well, efforts being made to control expenditures. And we're seeing significant savings in the government personnel costs, and then also in the supplies and consumables categories. So I don't want people to think that, while overall spending would seem to be seems to be under control, there are areas of government spending that are significantly above plan, like all of the costs that we are having to absorb and to spend money on to combat COVID and to support the economy, support our people who are unemployed. We are spending quite a bit of money on all of those areas, but it is being mitigated somewhat by the savings and curtailment of spending in other areas of government approved spending. So overall, it is a very encouraging scenario that appears to be emerging in terms of the prospects for government's finances for the year.
Now, for more on the financial report, you can go online to mof.gov.ky. That's mof.gov.ky. Turning now to today's weather forecast, the high temperature reached 77 degrees, the low 74. The forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. The winds are from the northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Now, the synopsis shows moderate northeasterly winds and seas, which will continue across the Cayman Islands area. It's all in association with a high pressure system that is currently over the Gulf of Mexico. Now, remember, you can download the Weather Services app, that's CINWS, or go to their website, weather.gov.ky, for the latest weather update. And that ends today's news brief here on CIG Television. And for this week, I'm Donna Bush, wishing you a safe and, of course, always a wonderful weekend.